Did you throw Maddie's laptop away? It's the obvious question, especially with video of him doing it. If he says yes, they get a nice little admission. But what if he says no? You can't give suspects the opportunity to deny anything critical. Getting a guilty person to confess is hard enough. If they deny the act first, now you have to get them to admit they're a liar too. That's why these detectives framed the question the way they did. Instead of directly asking Stephan if he threw out the laptop, they simply hinted that there might be a CCTV camera near the dumpster. This nudges Stephan to align his story more closely with the truth without calling him a liar or cornering him into a denial. However, as you'll see, this tactic doesn't always pay off.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to happen.
Do you have any idea where Madeline might be? That was a bad question, and here's why. It forced Stephan to either incriminate himself or deny it. And predictably, he denied it. Even if they come up with some creative rationalization for why he might know where she is, it's going to be tougher for him to admit that now, because he'll have to admit that he lied when he said no. Even worse, the detective made him double down on that denial when he asked none whatsoever. Instead, the detective should have led with what he said next. Something may have happened. It's non-confrontational and doesn't beg a denial. It also implies the police might already know something, just like when they hinted at CCTV cameras being near the dumpsters. In other words, it doesn't put the suspect on the defensive, but it might trigger the mind virus that forces them to adjust their story to align a bit more closely with the truth because they're not quite sure what the interviewer knows. It's similar to getting an email from your boss saying, "Come to my office," or a text from your partner, "We need to talk," or when a cop asks you, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Even if you're certain you've covered your tracks, it plants the mind virus. They already know you did something wrong, and that lying will only make things worse. That said, even if these detectives had played it perfectly and not asked any bad questions, I'm not certain this tactic would have worked on Stephan in particular. Watch what he says next, and maybe you'll figure out why.
And then it reveals all kinds of explanations of things that happened he'd make up a story even if he had no idea. Well, what about the girl in the parking lot? What about this? Oh yeah, I took out the house trash. Unusual explanations or explanations. If you don't have the deception detective deck, please get it.
So you're saying when she had her backpack, presumably her school computer was in her backpack, and you described her wearing a green jacket, some kind of dark colored shorts, and white Crocs. Okay. Well, I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack.
How's that?
Because we found it in the trash. So, Stephan, here's what I'm asking you and pleading with you is to dig down and do some soul searching.
Yes.
Okay. You understand? Family's pleading with you. I'm pleading with you because this is that we need to find. And it's as more time goes by, it's tough. I have kids, he's got kids. And this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where.
So 10 minutes in, they meandered their way into finding out where Madeline Soto was. They didn't quite get that from him, but every time they heard the 192 and the subtle lies that he was telling, I mean, why you wouldn't need to lie about if a child took her backpack if you had nothing to hide. And that was a perfect description what Deception Detective said.